Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Exotic Giant, and I want to talk a little bit about Warhammer. I've seen a lot of people get real upset with it, or say it's not as good as they thought it would be, or just talk really bad about it. And honestly, to all of my fellow Warhammer fans out there, and dedicated fans, and people who've played the tabletop, I think it deserves a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I think it's the perfect game variant, replica, whatever you want to call it. I think it imbues the version of Warhammer very well to the people who are technically novices, who don't really understand the whole lore of it. But that's not what I'm here to get into. What I'm here to get into is there's a few classes that I'm upset that weren't in the game, and some weapons that weren't in the game that were in the last game and also showed in a cutscene. Now, the gameplay you're seeing here is of the first co-op mission, so as the developers want, there's no spoiler. And I think a lot of people have seen the first co-op mission, so I'm just going to try to keep it at that type of level. But one of the classes I wish that I would have seen was the Apothecary. And the Apothecary is basically the medic, and it makes 100% sense on this part, because the Apothecary, you really do need a medic sometimes. There are some times where me and a bunch of guys are just playing, don't know them, they don't know me, and we are down to the last bit of health that we have, and at this point it is each of us keeping each other alive. An Apothecary would be great to have. They have this thing, I just forgot what the hell it was called, but it is a literal surgeon tool. Like, it's literally every tool that a surgeon would use on an operating table strapped to their arm. I wish I could remember it, and I forget. It's a necrothermis. I am butchering the shit out of that, and there's a lot of people that are going to be like, I'm going to find you, and I'm going to stomp your head in. But I apologize, but it is the best tool that you could probably do to use all this stuff. And I've got a few pictures here of it, and there's a picture of a guy just getting totally railed and trying to be pieced back together. I mean, he looks like he is in pieces. The next class is the Techno Marine, the Tech Marine. But this guy would be great, especially just to put this out there. Everybody would be like, well, he's technically the same thing as a medic in a way, because he repairs the armor and repairs the guns. And when you hear that, I think he would be a great class for armor. Now, we already have one guy that regenerates the armor, but I think the Tech Marine would be great for putting extra armor on, allowing you to have extra armor pieces. So like, if you have the Tech Marine with you, everybody gets an additional like armor piece. So when you pick up one of those armor piece collectibles, instead of just having 4 pieces of armor, you could have 5 pieces of armor. Or if the Tech Marine had a special booster that he could give, like, Rook and Rainbow Six extra Kevlar, but put extra armor on you. And, maybe you have a fighter that's a good fighter, but he's just not able to stand all the hits, and you just go like, all right, everybody, I'm going to give him all the armor pieces so he can be our full-fledged front tank, in case you have 2 guys who are just basically a Tech Marine and another character who's a support, who's really not meant for combat up front. The next one is a Librarian. Now, Librarians are very cool. They would be more of your mage of the group, I guess, putting energy shields or doing big wave blasts or whatever a Librarian does. The last few books I've read and looked up and audiobooks I've listened to is the Librarians are just powerhouses. They are literally tanks with legs, and their focus staff would probably take up their melee spot, unfortunately. So, yeah. But the next character that I want to talk about is pretty much, these are hopeful dreams, to be honest, because they may not make it into the game, just for the simple fact that they are kind of a class-based chapter, and the other one is, well, almost so OP that they would literally have to dumb him down to where he could not run, he could only walk, and he could not heal himself or repair his armor. Basically, he gets 1 life, he dies, he's got to wait 100 seconds before he can spawn back in. But we're going to talk about him in here in a minute. The first one would be a Blade Brother, which is a Black Templar, and it is based on Black Templars. I don't see very many other Blade Brothers out there, and I know this is a class-based chapter, but a Sword Bearer would be very cool, because it would allow you to add 2 weapons. It would allow you to add in great power swords and a Devastator. So it would kind of work if you wanted to add in another weapon, which is the Devastator is basically a bigger version of the Chainsword. But the Black Templars, they use a black blade, and I mean, anybody like my buddy who's a big Black Templars fan, literally, this would be a dream come true. Black Sword, Black Templar, full scale, everything up. He would be in heaven. Next one is Terminators. Now, Terminator is not just a Pacific Space Marine unit. It is actually a set of armor, which is called Terminator armor, and it is basically a walking tank. It's like a dreadnought, but you're in control of it instead of being entombed inside it. It's just power armor with heavier armor, and you get potion rockets. You see it in the game, and I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that hasn't watched, because I about just spoiled it for a bunch of people, and I would have been super upset. But Terminator armor would be really cool to have as a class, but you would really have to bog it down, because it would be OP if you were allowed to regen health and regen armor. You would be completely unstoppable. I mean, you'd move like a snail, but you would be unstoppable. Talking about a few weapons that the developers haven't put in that I hope would be put in, that I've seen in the last game, and I was kind of upset, and then you see it in a cutscene in here, and I was like, okay, you guys are just blue balling us now. The first one would be the Storm Bolter. Now, I had seen a few Space Marines actually holding a Storm Bolter. I thought it was just for the Terminator suits only, because it's a big gun, but that would be cool to see in here. That would be awesome. That would be super amazing, because that's a double barrel machine gun that's just, I think it's a shotgun, I believe. It's shotgun or machine gun, I can't remember. I haven't played Space Hulk Deathwing in a while, and I apologize for that. Probably should have looked up my research before I start saying stupid shit. And the other one is the Lightning Claw, which I've seen some gameplay of it being in the first Space Marines, so I don't know why it's not in the second one, douches. And a Power Axe, same thing in the other Space Marines, and in a cutscene in here, but not in this one. Like, come on, guys, you're really hurting me there on that. But here's one that really hurt me, because you can use it in the campaign, but you can't use it in the co-op or PvP. It's such a blue ball thing that I can't even act out my Salamander's goal, which is the flamethrower. And Salamanders are known for using flamethrowers, and if you guys want to know what chapter I'm pretty much allegiance to, is Salamanders. So, yeah, this is just me muttering off, but I love this game. This game is amazing. I've put 56 hours in it just alone, and I'm pretty sure there's other people that put more in it, but with me having work, unfortunately, I can't put as much time as I'd love to put into this game. But I can't say enough about this game, guys. This game is amazing. It's awesome. I can't wait to see what more the developers decide to come out with. Hopefully more campaign, more side quests. I'm not a big PvP guy, but if I get bored enough of the campaign and I still love this game and I still want to play it and enjoy myself, I may go over to PvP. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.